Oh, it's so intense. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
No, I'm sorry, but no. No. Now listen, I'm not going to do it this week. No, I'm sorry, no, the series ended last week. I said 6, but there was a strike and that wasn't my fault, was it? Well, you've got to have something. I mean, what about edited motocross highlights? Or Horse of the Year show, or inter-counties basket weaving or something? Well, how about a cheap tatty review? All right, that suits you. Cheap tatty review, then. Stand by and... Shoot!
Mr. Callahan chooses new date for the election, 1945.
Iran, and the search goes on for the Ayatollah Khomeini's contact lens. Due to adverse weather conditions, the British Rail Pools panels meet to decide what trains would have arrived where.
In the run-up to democratic elections in Rhodesia, Ian Smith introduces racially mixed swimming pools. Half the water for the whites and half for the blacks. The whites get the top half
and the blacks get the bottom half.
Good evening. Well, if this is the 9 o'clock news, I'm Reggie Bosankay.
The story so far, the continuing saga of a topical British family. Dad Wilkins is a civil servant with a problem. What if his strike clashes with the election? Will a country with neither civil servants nor government plunge into complete and utter order? But Mum, a fervent Liberal Party worker, is just back from Edge Hill, where she says David Steele was so cock-a-hoop he was feeling 4 feet tall. But meanwhile, up at the laundrette, Great Aunt Phoebe has admitted buying Israeli oranges and fears the Arabs may take reprisals by not sabotaging the Eurovision Song Contest. But she has just returned from visiting cousin Sid in Parkhurst, who is refusing the prison sex visits urged by René Short. He says he doesn't want to have sex with René Short. Grandpa is poorly, but in the absence of normal hospital services, he has been referred to a consultant archaeologist. And, having read that Sophia Loren wants to have another baby, he writes offering his services. But why do his letters remain unanswered? George and Nigel have had a tiff after learning that men in the south of England are better in bed than men in the north of England. But Lottie says that anybody is better off in bed than in the north of England. But Lottie has just finished a scarf for cousin Cedric, who has just lost his job as a race relations officer for no apparent reason. But the same fate has also befallen cousin Ingrid, who has been sacked from Rotterdam's new floating brothel. But is she wise to claim unfair dismissal on the grounds that the constant rocking motion made her feel queasy and the sea made her feel sick as well? But will tragedy unite the family with the sudden death of neighbour Mrs. Prendergast, who was halfway through an operation for the removal of a vital organ when a hospital shop steward shouted, "One out, all out"? All this and a lot less in this week's thrilling instalment of Stay With Us.
Hello. Now, because of the Tory win in the Commons, you probably know I can't actually introduce the budget I'd planned for tomorrow. Still, I thought I'd tell you what I was going to do. The first thing I was... The first thing I was going to do was to introduce a positive measure to stimulate the economy. Yes, you guessed it. I was going to abolish income tax. Absolutely and forever. Oh, well, that's out now. Now, a number of other goodies. Let me see now. For you small shopkeepers, VAT would have remained at 8%, the only change being we'd have paid it to you. Relief for the unemployed, we'd have sacked Albert Booth. A 2-day working week. Bonus incentive schemes for getting out of bed. Full compensation for the helpless, the sick, the handicapped. Well, Chelsea need all the help they can get, don't they? Oh, well, they all go in the bin too. In fact, the only people who would have had to pay anything at all would have been a new special tax grade called Conservatives. Pity. I don't suppose the Tories will be as generous. Of course, it's very difficult to see ahead. Ah, that's better. I might just possibly get to bring these measures in one day, if I'm still here. Get the picture?
If you compare all the case histories prepared for this series of conferences, you will find that there is in common in the techniques and organization.
I think the new pay rise is well deserved. I did a marvelous sermon yesterday about, what's his name? You know the chap. Names on the tip of my tongue. Walks on water. Oh, yes!
Yes. State football result. Irish League Division 4, Tipperary Rovers 343, Limerick Academicals 475. Both sides were playing at home.
I bring greetings from ex-President Nixon. I played golf with him last week, and he seems much better since his operation. He went into hospital to have his paranoids removed. Now Jimmy Carter says he hopes to put a man on Jupiter, his brother Billy. But I must say, I just love the way you do things here in England. It's so civilized. Yesterday I opened an account with a mugger. Say, it's a real problem buying anything in London with all these Arabs about shoplifting. I hear one got fined the other day when he walked out of Harrods without paying for it. Yesterday I ran into Roddy Llewellyn and he gave me a free copy of his LP. You know, I feel sorry for him. He's being kissed by a princess, but he still sings like a frog. And aren't your British Rail price rises terrible? I hear one commuter got so depressed he threw himself in front of the 812 to Waterloo. He was killed at 11:37 the following Friday.
This is Greenland, the dandruffed forelock of the world, a land of opposites. On the one hand, desolate expanses of snowbound wastes, and just opposite, more desolate expanses of snowbound wastes. But today, Greenland is in the grips of election fever. This is Godthab, the bustling capital, now under 100 feet of uncleared snowdrifts due to a strike of Brit lorry drivers. As polling approaches, party workers climb up over the rooftops to set up their campaign headquarters on the ice cap. And there they plan their election strategy. The leaders of Greenland's two main political parties differ greatly in appeal and style. Nono Nanook, the man of the left, identifies with the underdog. His opponent, Lars Boogaloo, adopts a more conservative approach. From every ice floe, his slogans exhort the electorate to keep their options wide open and their fly buttons firmly closed. In a land where many of the constituencies have no constituents, the Greenlanders have evolved their own electoral system. Instead of the voters going to the polls go to the voters. When elections are due, the returning officer sets off on his 4-year trek round the island to collect the votes. Already in front of him, the two party leaders who will try to get to the electors first. Whenever the returning officer encounters a voter, he is obliged by law to construct a polling booth. This is the 16th today. Then the comings and goings of every voter are checked by a teller, by which time the candidates are on their way again, a close check being kept on their mileage to ensure they do not fiddle their election expenses. With them travel the press, led inevitably by the ubiquitous Professor Rube Mackenzie with his swingometer and other studio gadgets. And so at last the lengthy election procedure draws to its close. And when the last vote is in the ballot box, the candidates follow the returning officer back to Godthab for the final count. This is a terribly exciting moment, for after 4 years, the final result is somewhere on that sledge. They say it's a cliffhanger, this result. The world waits on tenterhooks to know what the result might be. But alas, we will never know.
All right, Your Majesty, you're surrounded. Now come out with your head under your arm.
My Lord Mayor! My Lady Mayoress? My lords, ladies, gentlemen, and members of the press. There comes a time when we must all stand up and be counted. I am standing up now and can be counted. 1. And with an election pending, ones are about to become singularly important. Because Britain is facing the gravest constitutional crisis since 1380. And you know, many of us still remember the dark days. And if we're going to prevent the lights going out on our lives once more, we must ask ourselves crucial questions. Where are we? How did we get here? Why did we come? Where do we want to go? How do we want to get to where we want to go? How far do we have to go before we get to where we want to be? How would we know where we were when we got there? Have we got a map? But surely you can see my point. Because what I'm talking about is life. Because life is one of those things, isn't it, that most of us find it very difficult to avoid. In the words of David Dimbleby, life is uncertain. My life certainly has a certain uncertainty about it. And I'm certain that yours does too. And with your uncertainty and my uncertainty, there's certainly a certain degree of uncertainty about. Of that we can be quite sure. So as a party, we must not be frightened. And we must be prepared for this fight. It is easier for a witch man to pass through the eye of a needle than it is for a camel to... than it is for a camel to... Because we don't want to end up, do we? Like the blind man in the dark room, looking for the black cat that isn't there. Right, thank you very much.
We're on the move again, looking good, feeling fine, in the groove again. Life is an open book when you open your eyes and look, but you gotta keep moving.
Tall chap with long hair. That's right. Robert Powell. Not quite Robert Powell. Robert Powell-ish.
And all because the lady loves publicity.
What happens when a screw does bird? 5 years ago, this man was a screw who hated cons. After an incident at Strangeways in 1974, he himself was sent to prison for beating a con up. Now he is a con himself and hates ex-screws. So he's beating himself up. But as an ex-screw, of course, he still hates cons. So that while he's beating himself up, he's also smashing himself to pulp in retaliation.
You dirty swine! You pig! You cat! You don't
Excuse me. Yeah? I wonder if you could tell me, how did you adapt to life as a prisoner?
Oh, it wasn't easy, pal. It wasn't easy, I'm telling you. Well, when they used to lock me up in my room at night, well, for the first few months, I thought I was on the outside.
When did you first realise that you were a prisoner?
Well, I think it was visiting days, when my wife came to visit me every fortnight. Then I realised I was a visitor. I mean, a prisoner.
That must have been a terrible strain.
Yeah.
Tell me, do you not regret the way that you betrayed your trust as a prison officer?
Listen, mate. The policeman that nicked me was bent and is now doing 5 years in Durham. The doctor on whose evidence I was sent down has been struck off and is now doing 4 years at the Ville. And the judge who sent me down is doing 2 years for drunken driving in Durham.
That's appalling.
Isn't it?
Why don't you complain to your MP?
Good idea. Hey, Stonehouse, what do you think?
Kangaroo Valley, Bedsitter call it what you will, but this suburban semi looks just like any other in London's Earl's Court, which is why we're more interested in this house, number 32 Laundry Terrace. This is the house where His Imperial Majesty Mohammed Reza Pahlavi, Shah of Iran, has chosen to settle in his newfound exile. Disillusioned and believed to be suffering from mental fatigue, he has shed all vestiges of his former pomp and glory and now looks just like any other citizen. Far cry indeed from the imperial palace at Tehran. His followers have made everything ready. The former occupant of the Turkey throne has come home to roost, to a place whither birds of a feather have already flocked. Wanted men, the fallen from grace, deposed monarchs, lost causes, innocent persons, and ordinary people desperate. The Shah will certainly not be alone in his exile, for this boarding house is also home for his serene protuberance, the Atishu Kwame of Bindi, the 117-year-old spiritual leader of 17 Muslims. For 97 years, this semi-divinity has lived in semi-exile in this semi, masterminding the Bindi revolution and planning his triumphant return. He has been waiting for his time to come. Wilderness years spent as scholar, politician, pastor, author, public nuisance, and all Islam backstroke champion. This man embodies the dilemma of his people. On the one hand, he is a spiritual leader, on the other, a shrewd political strategist. One eye on his national traditions, the other on his own political future. One ear to the wish of the superpowers, the other to the ground. One foot in the revolutionary camp, the other in the grave. Here the Atishu receives homage from a devout follower, who, in accordance with the custom of centuries, bows first to the Atishu and then to the east, and not to point his face towards Mecca, but to point his bottom towards Wolverhampton. Nor is the Atishu alone in his exile, for just along the corridor lives the exiled loony of Yucatan, the spiritual head of 2 million Bushmen, who from here plan the pagan revolution which will bring down the white minority government of the president of Portuguese Yucatan. In fact, this corridor is full of former heads of state. His magnificence, the Jamja'ar of Rajipur, his supreme indolence, the mighty Wurlitzer of Bardwine, his enormity, the Ajibaji of Muscat, and the Bathroom of West Congo. They are all here, keeping themselves to themselves in the manner of the divine yo-yo of Hanky Panky, who's been on hunger strike for the last 18 years, and challenged holder of the record for the longest-lasting fruit gum. Similarly, the Artishu exhorts his followers in Bindi to acts of civil disobedience. His taped homilies urging the faithful to ring doorbells and run away, put matchsticks in lift doors and spiders in baths, in fact anything to embarrass the government, have to be smuggled into the country in clever ways so as to foil the ever-vigilant customs authorities. The risks are enormous, both for the Artishu himself and for these courageous carrier pigeons of the Freedom Army. All volunteers, many of them making their first and last shows behind the enemy lines. If caught, they face summary execution. Against overwhelming odds, the Artishu lives in hope. His spirit of optimism is shared by his fellow tenants here. Men like Kevin Ibn Saud, Young King Cole, Kunta Kinte Jr., Elvis Borgia, Morris the Hun, and Brian Bismarck, who claims direct lineal descent from the legendary Arthur Knuckles Bismarck of Barnsley. And the Shah must take his place with them, hoping one day to return and rule. Until that day dawns, it is simply a matter of waiting and waiting.
And now, here are the main points again. There have been disturbing reports this week that doctors in Dudley, Worcestershire, are planning to prescribe the pill to girls under 16 without telling their parents.
Let me make one thing perfectly clear. I am going to tell my parents.
And the government has announced that it has decided at last to clamp down on practical jokes which cause discomfort, starting with Mr. Tony Benn.
And in the wake of the Islamic referendum last Friday, the Ayatollah has decided not to close all cinemas. But in future, only Islamic films will be shown. Films like Purdah on the Orient Express, The Man in the Iron Mosque, and 28 Brides for 7 Brothers.
This morning, Chrysler revealed their new Avenger. And if all goes well, next month they'll make another one.
The Eurovision Song Contest. It was revealed today that the Italian entry, I Can't Get No Contraception, was taken off after the Pope advised them to pull out at the last minute.
And finally, the controversial genetic engineering conference taking place at Y College in Kent this week.
Despite heavy criticism, the conference, organised jointly by the Royal Society and by the Committee on Genetic Experimentation, will remain absolutely private.
Suspicions as to why the conference should need to be closed to the press have been allayed by a spokesman in an exclusive interview with Not the 9 O'Clock News.
I honestly do not know what all the fuss is about. There's been almost no advance in genetic experimentation over the last 30 years. And anyone who says otherwise would need his legs examining. Now, if you'll excuse me, good night.
Mr. Faulty, I don't understand. Ayatollah Khomeini's contact lens. Comprendo. He look. It's very funny. It's very, very good. It's good.